Hello and welcome to the user group. Today we'll be presenting the Avocado release notes of our most recent release. We'll be doing something a little different. We're going to take a little more time on these features and do a feature showcase. So it's a combination of a release notes and a bit of a feature release where we walk through some more detail on these features because they are a little more involved. Looking forward to giving you a lot of features and new releases in the coming year. But at this point, I'd like to introduce you to Rachel Quinn, who will be leading this presentation. As you may or may not know, Rachel is the product manager for Avocado and has been leading our charge on what features we add, how we add them, and coordinating, quarterbacking all the requests that come in for new features. Rachel, if you want to take over, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. So like Matthew said, we're here to kind of do a combo release notes and feature showcase today. So just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. So as always, we'll kind of just high level talk about our release plan. So obviously we're hoping to get back onto our regular release schedule. So looking for a April release for our spring release, following that up with a summer, a fall, and a winter release. We do have a bit of a backlog of tasks currently. So we are planning on releasing a couple additional, aggressively releasing some additional releases. However, that will be only once they've passed our QA cycle. So we do anticipate having a couple additional releases in that December to March timeline that'll be made available to you as soon as they've passed our QA. So I want to start with our contact photo thumbnail. So this is our first feature that we have included in this release. So now when you are searching for accounts, as well as when you are in the Avocado menu, you do have a thumbnail icon for each of your contacts on the account. This is so that when your frontline staff are interacting with potentially a customer in front of them, they can put a face to that name. So instead of having to click edit and then go view the profile photo, they do appear anywhere these are pushed through, and you can hover over on them to enlarge the photo as well. So it just gives you a good idea of who's standing in front of you. Also provides your staff a little bit of a spot check as well to make sure that people are on the account they're supposed to be on. With this release, we have also created a report so that you can report on your contacts in your system who do not have contact photos. So this is just a high-level example of what this report can look like. Again, it is a field we've put on the contacts. You can customize this report to your Salesforce reporting likings. So we do have a profile photo attachment ID, where now we populate this ID for every contact who has a profile photo. We will also be handling your historical data when we deploy this to your production environments. So you can see just with my reporting filters that I've just filtered out for any contact where that value is null. And you can, again, group that however you like. If you want to go by account, if you want to go memberships with contacts, you can create that report as well. But we just wanted to give you a standard template for what you can build for this report. The other major change you'll see is we've made a lot of changes to our program registration flow in the Avocado portal. So the ultimate goal for this was to reduce the number of clicks for your users. We know that spots can be competitive in our organizations, so trying to get those users through this flow as quick as possible was our goal for this task. So I'm just going to register for some HFA programming. But this does work across divisions in your portal as well. So I'm going to start with our Bobbers swim program as an example. So this program currently does not have any prompts. It does not have any rollover setup or any makeup classes enabled. So this is ultimately the shortest flow you're going to see. So I will basically select my contact. As you can see, we combined the first two steps in the registration modal to be one step, and then now directing the registration right to the cart. So as soon as my contact is selected and I click add to cart, that is going to process and just add that registration directly to the shopping cart. Another additional feature we have added is that when this is added to the shopping cart and I hit continue to shopping, I stay on the same spot as where I currently was. So I'm not redirected to the top of the page anymore. This is useful if you have people registering for group fitness where they're trying to get into multiple days or multiple weeks. We're redirecting them right back, or if they're registering multiple children in the same instance would be another example. So that's kind of the shortest flow. If I scroll down to floaters, I can go through an example of what you would see with prompts being on an instance. So again, kind of similar, we do have the additional information required for this specific instance. When I navigate to the page and I click complete, I have a CAPTCHA required here as well, which is an additional feature we've added. And then I'm redirected to add to the cart. If I do not have to complete a CAPTCHA here, because that's how your organization is configured, clicking complete on the prompts will add that registration to the cart as well. So we'll add that one to the cart. And again, I'll give our standard spiel that I am in a dev environment. So what you would see reflected here is not necessarily the speed you would see reflected in your production environment. So I'm going to continue shopping and I'm going to add a bubblers. So again, going through the flow here as well. Again, you can see there's no prompt, so I'm just getting pushed directly to adding that to my shopping cart. And this time I'm actually going to check out. So we didn't change the landing page here. We kept this very similar. However, we did make a couple changes when this shopping cart totals 0. So if you have only free programs in your cart, you are no longer required to go through the payment details page. So you'll no longer need to go through the select your payment method, select your payment schedule. Rather, you'll just be directed right to checkout. So we'll demo that. So here you can see my total is 0. I'm going to proceed to checkout, and that's going to complete my order. Again, this might decline just because of the test cards in our environment, but hypothetically, that would be your user checking out. I'm going to add one of those registrations that I removed from my cart so that you can see what the new payment schedule page looks like. Okay, so when I'm checking out for a program that does have a fee associated with it, I will be directed to the now one-page checkout. So previously we saw this listed as multiple steps. Now we've consolidated it into one page. So if you have a payment that is scheduled for immediate or all of your payments are set in the past, you will no longer have to click the option between scheduled payments or a payment given that they're the exact same. You're just directed to pay today. For programs where you do have the option to pay in full or to pay in future installments, that option will still be present. So again, I'm still going to select my MasterCard. And then as you can see, this is all one page. So I'll scroll down and I would complete the order. So those are kind of the main changes we've made to the program registration flow. There's obviously still more changes coming, and this is an area we continue to improve on. but just some high-level changes to make your user experience a little easier. Additionally, we've added some changes to the registration process for standard registration divisions in the menu. So I'm going to navigate to HFA here as well. And click register for HFA. I'm going to go to my same location. We'll register for HFA. This time I'm going to use gliders. So you can see now that we've added some filtering to this page when you have selected your program. So you can sort by name, you can sort by barcode, or sorry, you cannot sort by barcode, but you can sort by location. So if you offer the same program across multiple locations, you do have the option to sort there, sorting by price as well for instances where there's price groups, start time, and date as well. So you do have some additional filtering. You can also enter the start date to select a specific range, or you can key in the name. For these two search parameters, you do need to click search to apply that filter. So that's what we've added to the menu. So those are kind of the key features I wanted to demo. I'm going to go back to just sharing a couple of them higher level on the slideshow. So we've added some functionality to the instance uploader to give you the ability to schedule closed days on instances. So we understand with a lot of organizations who are using maybe attendance determines billing or just tracking attendance on an instance, that sometimes you have closures where, say, your entire organization is closed for a holiday. So in this example, we used Family Day. You do have the ability to either relate it to one facility or across all of your facilities and create a closure. Now, when you export your instance uploader, you'll see that there is a new column for observed facility closures. When that is populated to true, you will not have a scheduled event on any instance that has a closed day related to the facility that your instance is occurring at. So for example, if I tried to schedule a childcare, because this is what this facility belongs to, and I had observed facility closures is true, regularly I would expect to schedule Monday to Friday every week in February. However, I would see that on Family Day, or the 20th in this case, I don't have a scheduled event, so there would be no expected attendance, which either means they would not have that in their calendar, or if you're using attendance determines billing, they would not be charged for that day. There is a full section in the full user manual about how to set up kind of these holiday calendars and events. So if that's something you require assistance with, feel free to reach out to your account manager or our support team can walk you through that as well. We've also switched how we are currently implementing flows for everyone. So we are moving away from a managed flow to flow templates. And ultimately, this gives your organizations the ability to customize the flow to your needs. So what we've created is 2 specific flow templates in this release that are available. So you'll see these flows in the back end. They will be flagged as a template. So you can see that, I'll stretch this out a little, that they do have the template box checked. So these are able to be cloned and saved in your environment for the key features you need. So for example, right now, our financial assistance expiry flow, if your financial assistance is expiring at the end of March, you would currently get an email at the beginning of February to let you know that that is going to expire. If your organization wants to do that the month of, the week of, you have the ability to customize that within the flow. We also created one for your payment method expiry. So this is similar functionality, but on your payment method. If I know my credit card is going to expire the end of March, send them a reminder at the beginning of February that that card is expiring and prompt them to go in and update the payment method. So for these flow templates, you do click on the flow label. We do put in just a generic test email so that it is coming from not a valid email. So that is the first thing you're always going to want to change. So that would be updating your sender email address field. So again, just making sure that's coming from the company email you would like it to be from your organization. And then we do recommend you use an org-wide email address. So just making sure that is configured within your environment. You do have some options to override that as well if you're a little more familiar with flows, but that's currently our best practice recommendation. You're then going to go through and save as the flow, obviously provide it with an appropriate name for your organization. And then you do have the option in advance to make sure that this is a scheduled triggered flow. You're pulling from the correct source template, and then any additional information you would like to add. And then you would save that to your environment and activate the flow. So this would be kind of our new process we see going forward. We do anticipate creating a flow playbook with documentation for this. However, all those steps I just said are outlined in the release notes for this release. And then similarly, we do have the payment method flow that works very comparable to this. You would follow the exact same steps and then customize it if need be. We also have created some additional reports and dashboards. So we do recognize that one of the key features of Salesforce is their ability to report. We're hoping to move towards a reports package that we can deploy several times a year with different updates, kind of similar to how we are currently updating Avocado for you. However, in the interim, we've created a couple dashboards, one specifically for camp and one specifically for financial assistance. So just to give you a high-level overview, we have some camp instances. We like tracking registrations by profile, so you can see how many people are on the portal creating their registration versus how many are being created by staff. Some fill rate, revenue. If you have a target goal, you can customize your kind of meter here to see where you're at for your projected revenue. Registrations created this week, last week, some fill rate reports, and then some waitlisted reports as well. So these are all available through the support team. We can deploy them to your environment. You would just need to request that through either an OS ticket from support or through your account manager. We do also have a financial assistance dashboard. So similar idea, this one has applications by status, by branch, if that's applicable, your year-to-date financial assistance dollar figure, your financial assistance dollar figure this month, average age of your application. You can customize this report for if you're looking for how many people are on financial assistance for a specific registration type or program type, as well as by membership subscription and by division as well. So that is pretty much going to bring me to the end of our feature showcase for today. We'll obviously open this up to questions, but Laura has put in the chat. We are really looking for feedback. We definitely heard the feedback provided in the year-end release and are looking towards implementing some of those changes that were requested by all of you. But we would like your feedback on what you would like to see in user groups. So Laura has put the quick Google form in the chat. If you wouldn't mind taking a couple minutes and just filling out what you would like to see from us, your Avocado team, what you would like to potentially discuss with other organizations using Avocado, and then just any other feedback you have for us. But that is all I have. So we will open the floor to any questions.
Thank you, Rachel. And by all means, you can reach out after the fact if you're not comfortable, discussing any of your questions in this forum. Your account manager is always there for you, as we all are. Adam, you have your hand raised. I'll let Rachel take care of this.
Go ahead, Adam.
I was just going to say thank you so much for the ability to track profile photos and the absence of profile photos. That is going to make a huge difference, and those are quite challenging to report on currently.
Not anymore. So yeah, we'll deploy just that base level report as well, but it is a field on the contact, so customizable to whatever report you want to use with contact fields.
Well, if there's no other questions, I think we would also potentially follow up, excuse me, with this form, Laura. If you want to send it to everyone who was invited, that would be a good idea. Excellent.
Thanks, Colin. We will make the recording available as well for anyone who wants to review it after.
I'm very excited, Rachel, I have to say. Last year, as much as we did not deploy as many things as we wanted to deploy, we developed a lot of things. So I'm really excited to see the things that we've developed go through our QA cycle, our quality assurance, and get released to the team. And that's not stopping us from developing new features. We're continuing to develop new things as well. So very excited about this year and all the great things we're going to be able to deliver. Thanks.